Picture the Sahara, but not a desert, an endless braid of brown rivers, reed beds, and muddy banks. Slide in a giant, with a red-brown sail cutting the sky. This is Spinosaurus, the river tyrant. Long, low, and built strange, it breaks the dinosaur rulebook. Forget the chase across dry plains. This hunter stands in the shallows, nose down, listening with its face. Today, we're following Spinosaurus into its flooded world to see how a dinosaur learned to fish and why that made it one of the strangest predators ever. Start with the head. Spinosaurus wears a long, narrow snout, more gharial than T-Rex. The front teeth form a rosette, a widened tip that grips slippery prey. The teeth themselves are conical and ridged, not serrated steak knives, but spikes meant for holding, not sawing. Its nostrils sit higher on the snout than most theropods, keeping airways clear when the muzzle dips in. Everything about that face whispers. Built for water, tuned for fish, perfected for patience. Zoom out to its stage. The Kem River system of Cretaceous North Africa, roughly 95 to 99 million years ago. Picture flooded forests, sandbars, and tidal channels under heavy heat. The water holds monsters, sawfish like Onchopristis, lungfish, and coelacanths, longer than a grown human. Giant crocodilians lurk inside channels. In this crowded, dangerous pantry, Spinosaurus carves out a job most big theropods never tried. It doesn't need to sprint. It needs to read the current and strike without slipping. Here's the first trick. Along the snout run, tiny pits, neurovascular openings, dense and organized. In living crocodilians, such pits sense pressure ripples. In Spinosaurids, they likely did something similar. That means Spinosaurus could feel the faint push of a fish turning in cloudy water. Eyes help? Sure. But in muddy rivers, touch wins. A dinosaur with a pressure-sensitive face is not a rumor. It's a fossilized blueprint for hunting blind in brown water. The evidence stack keeps growing. Oxygen isotopes in spinosaurid teeth match animals that spend serious time in water, not just a quick dip. In the Kem beds, a Spinosaurus tooth was found embedded in the rostrum of an Onchopristis sawfish. A bad day for the fish, great proof for us. Relatives like baryonyx preserve fish scales in their gut. Every clue points the same way. This lineage ate what swam. Spinosaurus just took the strategy to the largest, weirdest extreme. Move down the body. The legs are shorter than most giant theropods, shifting the center of mass forward. The feet look broad, with bones suggesting a spread that presses into soft ground. Think mudwalker, not sprinter. Its long torso and deep chest ride steady as the animal wades. Did it always go on all fours? That's debated. But the build says, stable in shallows, not chasing on open sand. If your pantry is ankle to belly deep water, you don't train for a marathon. You train to not tip over. Here's your second twist. Look inside the bones. They're unusually dense, pachyostodic and osteosclerotic, more like penguins or hippos than air-filled theropods. Dense bones help fight buoyancy, letting an animal sink and stay planted in currents. A theropod that sinks on purpose? That flips the script. Spinosaurus wasn't a balloon with claws. It was a loaded spear stalking along the bottom edges of a river, half body above, half below, always ready to press down and strike. Now watch it hunt. The dinosaur stands still, water up to the thighs, 3 toes rooted in silt. The head tilts, and the snout grazes the surface, pits alive to every swirl. A fish drifts within reach. The neck coils, then sideways snap. Not a vertical chop. A fast, sweeping grab that pins prey across a mouth full of conical spikes. The skull's front rosette catches the fish first. The rest of the jaw takes over like a cage door. Mud erupts. Water rings fade. Dinner thrashes. but it's already decided. Notice what the jaws don't do. They don't crush bone. They clamp and grip. Conical teeth spread out force, so the slippery prize doesn't split. The secondary palate and strong snout resist twisting. Forelimbs with big claws help hold a heavy fish against the mud. Body and tail act like anchors during the lunge, keeping the center of mass steady while the head works. You don't need bone-splitting power if your food is mostly muscle and scales. In this kitchen, grip beats bite. Time for a myth to fall. Spinosaurus was not a T-Rex copy with a sail. Different ecology, different rules. It hunted where big land hunters wouldn't last 5 minutes. Waist-deep, sliding banks, slick with algae. That sail, rising higher than a person, probably did not turn Spinosaurus into a speedboat. It may have signaled to rivals, impressed mates, or helped manage heat. All are live possibilities. None are certain. But a billboard on the back makes more sense in open channels than in closed forest. Daily life, River Edition. Dawn steam curling off the water, the dinosaur hauls out on a sandbar to warm. The sail catches sun like a solar panel, blood vessels pulsing heat through the core. Midday, it moves under gallery trees and reed shade, sinking into cooler water. It isn't racing, it's commuting. Mud cakes the ankles. Dragonflies land on its sail. Every now and then, it heaves up, shivers off a sheet of water, and slides back in. This is not a tourist in the river. It's a local. What about the kids? Juvenile spinosaurids likely used backwaters and oxbows, places with fewer currents and fewer jaws. Their bones, while still dense, show growing patterns that might have kept them light enough to forage in shallows with quick snaps. They probably learned the ripple game by failure. Miss, reset, miss less, win. No hard evidence for group fishing exists, so picture a quieter apprenticeship. Small, elongated heads poking from reed curtains at dusk, practicing the sideways strike on lungfish, and anything foolish enough to ripple twice. Look again at that sail. Some paleontologists see a display board, species ID, body condition, I'm bigger than you. Others lean toward thermoregulation, a radiator that sheds or soaks heat as needed. A storage hump once seemed plausible, but the spine shape argues for a thin sail, not a fatty hump. Could the sail's shadow calm fish? It's a fun idea, but evidence is thin. What's solid is this. The sail changed the animal's outline, and in a visual world of open channels, outline matters. The fossils tell a fragmented story. The first Spinosaurus bones, described by Ernst Stromer in Egypt, were destroyed in World War II. Later, Morocco's chem beds delivered new pieces, skull parts, teeth by the bucket, vertebrae, limb bones. Teams stitched the puzzle with careful work and cautious inferences. Each field season adds layers, new measurements, better dates, fuller context of the river ecosystem. What looked like a one-off fantasy in a painting now looks like a repeatable, testable life strategy in a real place. In the end, Spinosaurus breaks the category we tried to stuff it in. It's a giant theropod that traded sprinting for standing, slicing for clamping, planes for channels. Dense bones let it plant. A sensor-studded snout let it hunt by touch. Broad feet turned mud to traction. And a sail turned heads long before ours. If you could step back to that riverbank, surrounded by buzz of insects and the hush of brown water, where would you stand when the sail rose from the reeds? On the bank or in the shallows?